Today we're going back, way back, to one of the most creative, charming, and downright beautiful games of the 16-bit era. It's a game that dared to follow in the footsteps of Super Mario World, but carved out an identity all its own, a game that gave us a brand new take on platforming, one of the best soundtracks on the Super Nintendo, and a whole new way to experience the Mushroom Kingdom. We're talking about Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, released in 1995. It's officially 30 years old, and still just as magical as ever. So grab your eggs, watch out for Kamek, and let's take a look back at Yoshi's Island, 3 decades later. Let's rewind to the early 90s. Super Mario World had launched alongside the Super Nintendo in 1990 and set a new standard for 2D platformers. With its tight controls, colorful visuals, and iconic world design, it became one of the most beloved games of all time. So how do you follow that? Well, if you're Nintendo, you do something totally unexpected. Instead of building on Mario's power-ups or world map structure, Nintendo handed the spotlight to Yoshi, a side character from Super Mario World, and reimagined the entire gameplay formula. No more power-ups, no more Cape Mario, instead, flutter jumps, egg throwing, and a crying baby on your back. Risky? Definitely. But also brilliant. Yoshi's Island is technically a prequel. The game begins with a stork carrying baby Mario and baby Luigi to their new home. But things go sideways fast. Kamek, the evil Magic Koopa, kidnaps baby Luigi and drops baby Mario in the middle of Yoshi's Island. The Yoshis, a tribe of friendly dinosaurs, decide to help. They take turns carrying baby Mario across the island, passing him from one Yoshi to the next as they journey to rescue Luigi. It's a simple story, but it works, and it set the stage for Yoshi to become a major character in Nintendo universe. This was the game that defined Yoshi. His voice, his mechanics, his entire vibe, they all started here. Yoshi's Island might have Mario in the title, but it plays nothing like the traditional Mario games. For starters, you don't die when you get hit. Instead, baby Mario floats off in a bubble and starts crying, giving you a few seconds to rescue him before he's taken away for good. This mechanic adds a layer of tension to every enemy encounter. That timer ticking down, it matters. Then there's the egg system. Yoshi can swallow enemies and turn them into eggs, which you can aim and throw in 360 degrees. Eggs can hit switches, defeat enemies, collect coins, or solve puzzles. It turned every level into a playground of creativity. Yoshi also has his flutter jump, which gives him a little extra airtime, a lifesaver when navigating tricky platforming sections. And the level design? Incredible. Every stage introduces a new twist. One moment you're platforming across moving clouds, the next you're turning into a helicopter, then dodging giant rolling spikes. The game never runs out of ideas. Each level is scored based on red coins, flowers, and your baby Mario timer, adding tons of replay value for completionists. One of the most iconic things about Yoshi's Island is its hand-drawn art style. The pastel colors, crayon textures, and animated sketchbook look gave the game a storybook feel. It looked completely different from anything else on the Super Nintendo, or in gaming, period. But here's the wild part. Nintendo had to fight for that style. According to interviews, Nintendo was under pressure from executives to adopt pre-rendered graphics, like what Rare had done with Donkey Kong Country. It was the hot new trend. But producer Shigeru Miyamoto pushed back. He didn't want realism, he wanted art. And the result? A visual masterpiece that still holds up today. The environments feel alive. Bosses distort and scale using the Super FX2 chip, giving us huge, screen-filling enemies. And every animation is packed with personality. Yoshi's Island wasn't trying to look real, it was trying to look magical. Mission accomplished. Koji Kondo, the legendary composer behind the Mario and Zelda series, delivered one of his most playful soundtracks with Yoshi's Island. From the upbeat athletic theme to the dreamy underground track, every song fits the whimsical tone of the game perfectly. The boss music is full of tension and mischief. The overworld themes are light and bouncy. And then there's the unforgettable Flower Garden theme. It's pure happiness in audio form. The soundtrack has a unique charm. It blends traditional platforming energy with softer, lullaby-like melodies. Perfect for a game about protecting a baby. It's one of those soundtracks that instantly transports you back. You hear just a few notes, and suddenly you're flutter jumping through hand-drawn hills again. One of the standout features of Yoshi's Island is its bosses. Every world ends with a boss that's familiar at first, a normal enemy like a piranha plant or a shy guy, but then Kamek shows up, casts a spell, and bam, the enemy grows to massive size and mutates into something bizarre. Remember the giant frog that swallows Yoshi and turns the boss fight into a battle inside his stomach? Or the terrifying Raphael the Raven, who you fight on a small planet's surface with gravity physics? These encounters were more than just hit it 3 times affairs. They were full of surprises, clever mechanics and visual flair. Each boss felt like a reward for making it through the world, and a showcase of just how creative the developers were willing to get. When Yoshi's Island launched in 1995, it was an immediate critical hit. Reviewers praised its creativity, visuals, and innovative gameplay. Even in the shadow of next-gen consoles, this SNES game turned heads. But more importantly, it had staying power. Yoshi's Island has appeared in dozens of greatest games of all time lists. It's been re-released on the Game Boy Advance, Virtual Console, Nintendo Switch Online, and more. And it launched Yoshi as a standalone franchise. Since then, we've seen Yoshi's Story, Yoshi's Woolly World, Yoshi's Crafted World, and more. All of them carry pieces of Yoshi's Island's DNA, but none of them quite captured the magic of that original game. There's something timeless about it. Maybe it's the art, or the music, or the way every level feels like a little experiment in joy. So what makes Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island still matter 30 years later? It's not just nostalgia, it's craftsmanship. This game took risks. It introduced a new art style, a new protagonist, and a new gameplay structure, all in the shadow of one of the greatest games ever made. And yet, it didn't just live up to expectations, it surpassed them in many ways. It taught us that a sequel doesn't have to be more of the same. It can be something bold, something weird, something wonderful. Even now in 2025, people still replay Yoshi's Island and fall in love with it all over again. Speedrunners break it down to its frames. Artists draw inspiration from its world, parents introduce it to their kids. It's the kind of game that stays with you. So here's to 30 years of Yoshi's Island, a game that dared to color outside the lines and became an all-time classic in the process. Thanks so much for watching. If you grew up with Yoshi's Island, tell me your favorite memory down in the comments. Was it your first time hearing that athletic theme, that boss fight inside the frog's belly? Or maybe that feeling of finally beating World 6? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video if you love deep dives into classic games like this. I've got more retrospectives coming soon, including some hidden gems and a few surprises.